Now to an ABC News investigation. Some call them the forgotten children of Mexico City. Think of this number tonight. The list of billionaires in Mexico growing, now worth more than $144 billion. Yet in the shadow of all of that money, the children left behind. Tonight, after months of investigating, a major development. We travel the streets of Mexico City in search of the children. ABC News getting the blacklist obtained by Disabilities Rights International. Facilities the government says are abusive, in bad condition, yet children still dropped off. So authorities put these institutions on a blacklist.
Yes.
But they're still open?
Yes.
And does the public know about the blacklist?
No, they don't know.
They're about to. Our first stop. We walk up to the metal door, behind it an unsettling maze of locked doors, padlocks on nearly every door, every window. Children of all ages, many left by parents, some with disabilities, some from detention centers, all under one roof. Did you find any evidence of doctors?
No.
Therapists?
No, nothing.
The next stop, we're told, even worse. Through the front door and right into the standing water. ¿Cómo te llamas? And this is another one of those blacklisted facilities here in Mexico City. And if you come up the stairs, we've been told there are about 20 children living in this building right now. Many of the rooms are absolute squalor.
It is total abandonment. Mexico is falling short. These are fundamental human rights violations.
And lastly, past this green gate, a facility not on that list, but getting government money. Children with disabilities inside cages, rows of them, locked up. Hola. A boy named Julio, alone in a corner. Eric Rosenthal, the founder of Disabilities Rights International, shows me Andres. All you can hear is the boy clenching his jaw. His clenching jaw is making more noise. He knows we're here. We hold this boy's hand and immediately he smiles. We ask the nun, is he okay spending all of these hours alone? Felice, he's happy, she tells us. But the directors of the facilities tell us the children have a good quality of life. They are clean, they are fed, they have a place to live. He spends 24 hours a day in this cage?
We'll take him out for 1 hour.
The moment I put my hand in, he grabbed my hand.
Yeah, if you'd sat down and put your arm around him, he would have smiled.
And think these are images we haven't seen since the 50s.
That's because they don't know what they're doing.
And then just this past week, authorities telling us there will be an immediate government order.
Inmediata.
The Ministry for Social Development telling us Mexico City will immediately ban all cages, all restraints. A victory. But their work hardly over, remembering the children's faces and the toys they showed us.
¿Qué es eso?
Eager to take a walk with a reporter.
We go this way?
Past those cages for good. In addition to getting rid of the cages, Mexico City has also agreed to help start a program to get those children back into the community. We'll stay on it. We turn next tonight to an ABC News investigation. Nearly a year ago, we took you to Mexico City, a city with a growing list of billionaires, and yet in the shadow of so much wealth, the forgotten children. The government promised at the time major changes. So tonight here, we go back to check, and you're about to see what we found. It was nearly a year ago we traveled to Mexico City in search of the children. ABC News getting the government blacklist obtained by Disabilities Rights International. Nearly a year later, we return. First, the facility with cages. The team was invited, but when we got there, they refused. But I ask, have they made any changes? Yes, she tells me, but rings the bell to get in without us. We ask for just 5 minutes. She says no.
Take a look.
So as you can see, they closed the door on us after initially telling our team that we could come back a year later to see the changes. They tell us there are changes inside, but now won't even allow us 5 minutes to see them.
So we got
Priscilla Rodriguez suddenly gets a text from the government. So the government has now said no too.
Yeah.
Are you convinced there are any changes?
We cannot be sure anymore.
We're off to the next stop, where a year ago we witnessed children, this boy hanging by his hands over a treadmill, their bodies wrapped in gauze and makeshift splints. And this is what we found.
You can see the gauze is still here, and they have, told us they still use this.
And they promised that they would change this since our visit?
We asked the people here. The authorities just told them, well, it looks bad to use restraints, so be careful.
It looks bad. Then we discover the children. And an American nurse traveling with the team offers a simple suggestion. Make charts with pictures. Engage the children.
as we see Leonardo crawling to reach up for a newspaper. 24 hours later, we return. Fernanda, and her head comes up as soon as we talk to her. And Leonardo, who had crawled over to that newspaper, when we reach for his hand, he immediately puts his head on my arm. Suddenly, we see that smile. And the director there tells us she took that suggestion from the nurse, already making charts of pictures. And he takes my hand to point to each one.
Look at he's having me point.
Leo is already using the charts.
Leonardo, I want pizza. Quiero pizza.
So far, nothing from the government.
Nunca ayuda del gobierno. Nunca.
We go to one last place.
Nearly a year later, we return to another one of the facilities, and we find that there are children of all ages here, and yet no government help, no visits from the government.
And just this afternoon, Disabilities Rights International revealing they are now filing an international suit. Promises unkept.
They promised almost a year ago to get rid of the cages, to replace the restraints, to help get children back out into the community, into families, into foster care, if you will. Have we seen any of that?
No, they signed documents. They made it look official before the cameras, but that translated into nothing.
Overnight, the government telling ABC News they have made changes, saying they've banned those cages. But again, they wouldn't show us, which is why we keep coming back.
The forgotten children, and we will stay on the case.